Hi gang, how the heck you doing? John Lawchaw, Crackpot cartoonist here. And I know, it's been a while since I've done one of these and I've been meaning to do one, but I apologize. But this is the Crackpot cartoonist for April the 24th, 2018. And this weekend was a lot of fun. I went to the Vintage Computer Festival Southeast, which was held this weekend here in Atlanta. And I've got some footage. I'm going to show it here in just a moment. You get to see some old friends, and but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got to see some great classic computers, and I'm going to eventually start getting back into restoring some computers. I've got an Amiga 1000 sitting over here. There's an Apple III sitting in the closet. There's an original Bondi Blue Rev A or Rev B iMac, the original iMac, sitting out in the garage. That they probably need new caps and things like that, but we're gonna get into restoring some of those. So I'm really looking forward to that. There's some other cool stuff. Let me show you this little thing. This was I went by one of the tables, and there was a guy who was building replicas of the Apollo Disky. Now, if you don't know what this is, this is from S&T Geotronics LLC. They're somewhere in North Georgia because they got a 706 area code. But they the Disky, this was the sorry, almost dropped it there. This was the display unit. Disky stands for display keyboard for the Apollo guidance computer. This is what you saw Tom Hanks punching numbers into in Apollo 13, and this was a groundbreaking computer in its day. It was amazing that it worked because there were a lot of functions that this thing had to do to control the Apollo spacecraft, and the software was nothing short of phenomenal. It was the memory was core memory. It was hand wire wrapped core memory with discrete TTL. I don't even think it was TTL. It might have been resistor transistor logic in it. But this is what got us to the moon and back. This is and they're doing Arduino based replicas of the Disky unit. Fran Blanche, I think is her last name. I can't remember her last name. She does a fantastic teardown of the Apollo guidance computer on her channel, which if you're really into geeky stuff, go and check her channel out. But I went by and I looked at what they said. Oh, it's a Disky, and he said, yeah. Well, since you recognized what that was, he reached back and he pulled out this little 3D printed replica of the Disky. He said, "Here, this is yours because you knew what a Disky was." And if he had seen my jacket, he would he probably would have given me one of his units. Because if you know me in my jacket, I'm famous for my space jacket. But anyway, this is the little cute little thing, and I'll put a link to the Open Disky. Yeah, they're also making replicas of the Enigma machine, which is a whole other story. But yeah, while I was there, I shot some footage of the some of the things that were there, and so let's go to that footage right now. The Vintage Computing Festival Southeast was held up in Roswell, which is a suburb north of Atlanta. And the place that it was held at is going to be the home of a new computing museum. And I didn't get any pictures of the plans for it, but they are really nice. It's going to be a fantastic museum. I'm looking forward to going back and doing some video blogs on it. But there was a lot of interesting stuff there. There was one of the things was a group who did keyboards. They had all kinds of keyboards, including this Apple Extended 2, I should say, and some IBM Model M's and knockoffs. I love those two keyboards. Those are two of my favorite keyboards. But they also had some custom ones there, like this one, which is kind of reminding me of the keyboards on Space 1999. That's just how weird I am. But there was also this one, which reminded me of the keypad that Ripley was using to set up the self-destruct on the Nostromo in Alien, and those symbols on there just reminded me of that.
But there was also this fellow who had an Asteroids Cocktail Table video game there. It was in pretty good condition. In fact, he said that he found it for $200 at a Goodwill. What I wanted to see were the Radio Shack computers. Now, I never really got into the Tandy 1000s. I was into the Amiga by then. But I also saw this Model 2000 there, which was Tandy's first MS-DOS machine, and it wasn't an IBM clone, it was an MS-DOS machine. It ran on an Intel 8186 of all things, and it was the last of the computers to be branded as a TRS-80. They also had this Model 100 and the Model 200 there, which were laptop computers, some of the first laptop computers, and these were great computers, great keyboard, easy to use. I used to use one when I was in college to take notes in journalism class, and great little computers, ran on AA batteries, and it was the last computers that Bill Gates actually wrote code for. And the one I really wanted to see, though, was the Model 4 and the Model 4P. Boy, I have a lot of fond memories of these machines. This was the first computer that I learned Pascal on in high school, and the Model 4P was a luggable. It had a great keyboard. It was just a fun little 8-bit computer. Now, I didn't have great graphics, but it was just fun. It was fun to program. They also had this CompuPro 816, which was an S100 bus system from the late 70s. Jerry Purnell, who wrote the user column or Chaos Manor column in Byte way back when, one of my favorite columns in Byte, used one of these. And as I said, it was an S100 system, and it ran CPM. And there was an M-Side, which was the War Games computer, the one that Matthew Roderick used in War Games. But for some reason, I didn't get footage of it. I don't know why. Also, this PDP-8, which was the original computer used to develop Unix on. Well, not this one, but one like it. There were many of these made. This was a very popular little mini computer back in the late 60s and the early 70s. And they also had one of these, an IBM PC 5150. This is the original IBM PC. And as you can see, this one's in really nice shape, and it was for sale. But it says, ask questions, don't. If you can ask, you can't afford it. Because those are getting to be very, very expensive, especially in the condition that this one was in. There was a whole bunch of handheld games, including this one, which was the original Mattel football game. I had a friend in middle school who had all of these, even the mechanical ones. Just remembering probably a lot of memories here. Not a lot of Commodores, not a lot of Apples, but they did have this. This was an Atari Lynx, and it was a handheld game system that was originally developed by Epix and then sold to Atari. But the reason why I find it notable is that it was designed by a lot of the original Amiga design team. And the story goes that they had a feeling that they were going to end up selling it to Jack Trammell. So they made sure that the development tools for it only ran on Amigas, so that Jack Trammell, who owned Atari and was very mad over the way that the whole Atari Commodore Amiga thing had shaken out, would have to buy a lot of Amigas in order to develop games for his new game console. So anyway, that's all from Vintage Computing Festival Southeast for this year. I'm looking forward to next year. It's going to be great, and if you have one in your area, they have them all over the country. Go check them out, and because they're a lot of fun and bring back a lot of memories.
Okay, through the magic of television, we're back, and that was pretty cool. Going there, saw a lot of old friends. Actually saw an old friend who really was an old friend. I'm not talking about an old computer. I ran into a fellow named Paul Peterson, and Paul Peterson back in 91, 92, he and I worked at a place here in Atlanta that's, moment of silence, is no longer around, called Showcase. It was a photo store, high-end photo store that also sold video gear. And Paul and I sold Amigas, and we sold video toasters. And Paul's a great guy. I really enjoyed working with him. It was great seeing him again. And he was taking photos there as well. But yeah, it was a lot of fun going to the Retro Computing Festival. Saw some really cool stuff there, and as you saw, and looking forward to next year's. And probably going to start this summer going to the Atlanta Retro Computing organization. I have a brochure for it, but I don't have it with me right now. But anyway, so there's that. So moving on, all kinds of other things going on. I'm going to start doing some live streaming. I don't know if, well, you can't see. But right up here is a web camera pointing down, and right over here, just off frame, is another Logitech web camera, and I've got some LED lights here that are lighting this scene. But I'm going to start doing some live streaming. I'm going to try and start doing that this week. I know I said I was going to do it earlier, but I'm going to really try to do it this week. I need to rig up something with this microphone to get it in, because right now I'm using the Tascam recorder, and that's not really going to work for the live streaming. Also trying to figure out what I'm going to do it on Twitch, YouTube, Picardo, where I'm going to do it. But anyway, but I'm going to start doing that. And I'll be working on Accidental Centaur stuff, and I may actually work on some Naughty Bits stuff. So that will be an adult only stream. That might be patrons only. But anyway, so yeah, things are moving forward. Gonna be going to the Rubens in Philadelphia at the end of April, end of May. So a month away. So it means I gotta go get tux. I gotta get my tux. I gotta get I gotta get plane reservations made. I gotta get all that stuff done. But I'm really looking forward to it, because I love going to the Rubens. It's a lot of fun, and so that's going to be coming up. You're going to get tired of me talking about the Rubens before and after, because usually afterwards I come back and I'm so excited I can't wait to get back to work on stuff. So anyway, hopefully this is going to be a little bit more of a regular thing going forward. We'll see. So until next time, keep drawing.